Job 6:24 through 26. Learn to listen. Mini sermon time. Welcome, beautiful born again TIs and all born again believers who want to grow in their walk with the Lord. Teach me. This is Job speaking. Teach me, and I will be silent. Make me understand how I have gone astray. Now, Job was going through great suffering at this time, and his friends were supposed to be consoling him. How forceful are upright words? They were basically blaming him for his problems. But what does reproof from you reprove? Reprove is to reprimand or censure, okay? Do you think that you can reprove words when the speech of a despairing man is wind? He was saying the speech of a despairing man is wind. He was saying lots of stuff. He cursed the day he was born. He had suffered greatly. He lost all of his children. He lost most of his wealth. And he was just blowing steam. And here they were criticizing him for what he was saying rather than just listening. Okay? A good example of this is when people were abused as children. Mexually, okay, rhymes with mexually, since you can't say the S word on YouTube. They were abused mexually. Many times they have to talk about it over and over and over, and many times as someone who was abused, you may need to talk about different experiences of abuse. It is as if you were talking it into the ground, and many times people will not listen. They'll just give you advice because they want you to be quiet. They don't want to hear it. And sometimes they'll say very unkind things because the stuff that you are sharing is so not pretty. It's so inhumane that they don't even want to hear it. They don't care that you went through it. They're not showing compassion or mercy. They care about themselves. It doesn't make them feel good. It doesn't make them feel safe to have to look at humanity. They make it about themselves versus the person who was victimized. And they don't let the person express themselves. They don't let the person talk it out. So we all can learn to be better listeners. Listening is therapeutic. You can be a huge blessing to anyone who's suffering by just listening. And yes, even if they're blowing off smoke, if you get overwhelmed, as I have, you can let them know, hey, you know what? I'm going through my own stuff right now. I want to hear this. Okay? Especially if you've heard it a million times. I want to hear this again. But let's maybe tomorrow or a little while, or maybe this is overwhelming. Be honest, this is overwhelming me. I can't listen to this right now. Can we talk about this another time? Or if it's just too much for you, period, maybe ask them, can you talk to someone who maybe has been through what you've been through? Or maybe you've been through it and you don't want it to be brought up. You don't want to have to think about that stuff because you haven't worked through it. So maybe you need to be honest with them. Hey, I can't listen. This is too much for me. Can you find someone else who's been through that and maybe they can show compassion? It just overwhelms me. But don't give them platitudes. Don't give them little sayings like, oh, you should forgive and forget, and not allow them to express themselves, because you could be helping them to heal if you are able to listen without giving advice. You listen with your ears, not with your mouth. Okay? Too many people, they listen with their mouth, not with their ears. Listen with your ears and with your heart. Show compassion. You can help people to heal from real trauma. I send out my love to you. Please help my humble channel to grow. Like, subscribe, share, comment, or any combination thereof.